Hey guys, I'm going to show you how you can create your own templates in Pin Generator so that you can get the perfect setup for your Pinterest automation strategy, as well as how to import templates from Canva. So if you like templates in Canva, you can easily import them into Pin Generator. So let's get going. So you can go to the Tools section, open up Templates. You can simply click Add a new template here. I always add this Pinterest pin, 1000 by 1500. And there we go, we have a new template. So what we could do is just create a normal template off the bat. So let's create a nice text section. I'm going to turn on snap to border so that it's snapped nicely. There's going to be a little section to put like a title text, and I'm going to set it to use dynamic colors, so it'll use the dynamic colors in the color palette that we have. Then let's add an image. It says what type of image do you want to add? We want to add dynamic images because so that the image can change with the various blog posts we're scanning. So I'm going to select dynamic image. We can put it here, put it there, and you'll see here that the dynamic image button is already selected for us. And then we can put another one of these sections. I'll just duplicate this, bring it down here, and make it the right size. Cool. So maybe let's just put a placeholder image there so things look nice. Let's put this little cat, and now let's add some text. Let's add some text, add a text section here. Let's make it big, center it. Let's go. So this section we can use select a dynamic text field, so either title, description, URL. So we're going to add the title here. It's going to be title. I like to capitalize it. Make it a little bit off gray, and then select a nice font. You can upload your own fonts here. Let's do Montserrat, and then let's put a URL in this little bottom section here. So let's add another text section. Actually, no, wait, let's just delete that, duplicate this so that we've got the same font. And then let's put it down here, center it, and change its dynamic text to short URL. So that'll be a URL without the HTTPS at the front. And this has also got dynamic colors. So yeah, I think that as a basic template, that's set up. So let's call this test, and let's save the template. So it auto saves it also every couple seconds for you. Right, now let's go to the generate page and use that template. So let's just remove the pins we have there, and we can add some blank templates, but let's go and select our newly created template, test. I'm just going to go into the selected template to make sure nothing else is selected. Done. Cool. So now we can see we've got our dynamic template there, the dynamic titles and URLs, and it's obeying the color palette. So let's just do some shuffling. Let's shuffle it out. So you can see how I can shuffle there. Okay, now we need some text in it. I mean some data in there. So we can go to the content and AI section, and we can go, this is my awesome title, and you can see where the title will be put there. And then let's do URL text, oliver.com. And okay, so I want this all to be lowercase actually. So let's go back to the template. Let's adjust this. Let's make that lowercase. So you can save that, and then we can reload the templates by going templates, refresh templates. Cool, now that's lowercase. So you can see a nice basic way how to set up these. Oh wait, we need images. So these are dynamic images, but we don't have any images selected to use. So let's go to our images section, and let's use these images. Wait, is this set to dynamic? No, it's not. Okay, let's turn it on to dynamic. I think I toggled it off when talking about it. So now let's quickly refresh this template. Cool. So now you can see it's using the dynamic images from that we selected from the image section. And of course, if you scan a URL, then it will get all the data from that website and create pins using that website data. So you can see this is grabbing it from the website, but we've got to take away this font override. So let's remove that. Now you can see the blog post titles. Let's remove oliver.com. You can see ollieandthecaptain.com. And what else? Oh, so you can see the images we've selected are still there. So let's just remove those. So they're only images now from the blog. So you can see here. Yeah, so that's basically it in a nutshell for creating really basic templates. Cool. Now let me show you how to import a template from Canva. So let's go back to the template section. Let's add a new template, same size, 1000 by 1500. And then here you can scroll down to the import Canva design section. And this asks us to first export the design from Canva as an SVG, upload the SVG here, and then select that SVG to import. So the import has got to break up the Canva SVG into all its small parts and then import it here. So let's go over to Canva. Here's a template that I like. Note that it's also 1000 by 1500 pixels. So those width and height should match the same template size as you're creating in Pin Generator. Then we go share, download, select SVG, and download. So now it'll download this as an SVG. We can save it as test.svg, replace, and we can go across here, import Canva design. Yes, let's import, upload a new SVG, the test SVG. Let's go. Now we just got to wait for this to upload. Okay, here's the SVG. You can select it and then say use selected. Now in the background it's going to break all of that up into its individual layers and then import it all into the template. Okay, here it is. And then there's the image loaded. Cool, so you can see in the layers section here it's got a whole bunch of layers, because Canva often has a lot of like hidden layers for background elements and opacity and a whole bunch of stuff. So it breaks it up as best it can and displays it here. And often what happens is that text can sometimes be broken up into each letter. So in this case, it's got the whole sentence for this, but this is per letter. So if you wanted to in Canva, to make things simple, you could just remove the text section you want removed and then edit it here. So in this case here, the on the blog is cool. I'm going to remove this text section and just add my own dynamic text section. There we go. Let's get a fancy serif font and then make it dynamic text using the title. Let's not capitalize it. I like it like that. And then this really great site. So we want to put a URL here, but this is very irritating because it's all been imported as each letter. So let's remove these. This is a bit of a mission, but it's very difficult to detect all the text as one batch, because an SVG is a bunch of mathematical drawings and that represent the letters, and the groupings on Canva can be very odd sometimes, which makes it quite tricky. So we've removed that. Let's add our own text here. Actually, let's do the same thing we did last time. Let's just duplicate this so that we have the same font. Let's make it nice and small. Center it. Let's make it capitalized, uppercase, Let's set it to short URL. Lovely. Okay, then the image. So often with the Canva import, the image from Canva can be really big, and because it's embedded as an SVG, it can create some overheads that are not necessarily necessary. Sorry, but you can see here that this Canva image has been set to use detected. So I'm going to show you a little trick here. So let's go to the generate page. And then let's load our new template. So it's this one. Let's remove other selected templates. So now it's just our new template. So you can see that that is all loaded up nicely in that template. But sometimes just my little trick was to remove that image and just add our own dynamic image, because this can make the template load faster and just be cleaner. So this is set to dynamic, but now this is in front, so let's move this to the back of everything except this background. There we go. Cool. So now we have this. Save. Let's reload the templates here. You won't really see a difference, but there's a little bit of a difference there. So yeah, that's how you upload Canva templates into Pin Generator. Thanks for watching. Cheers.